Hello, welcome to the channel. Today is June 28th, and we're going to talk about no self-flagellation needed. Self-flagellation.
What is that, farts?
I'm not totally certain. I think it's like boasting or bragging about yourself, but I don't know. Okay, so Seneca says, philosophy calls for simple living, but not for penance. It's quite possible to be simple without being crude. Snap definitions. Okay. Philosophy calls for simple living. That makes sense. But not for penance. Like we live simply, but like we don't live destitute like a poor person.
Yeah, I'm not understanding that.
It's quite possible to be simple without being crude. Can I look up this on your phone? Crude, constructed in a rudimentary or makeshift way. Offensively coarse or explicit. That's the definition I'm familiar with. Like crude, like you're being like more vulgar than you need to be. But the first definition is constructed in a rudimentary, like a really basic, or makeshift way. So I guess I'm sticking with my same thing of like, okay, yes, it's like simple, but you don't need to like go down to the level of like becoming a poor person.
Poor person, what do you mean?
Yes, self-flagellation is the disciplinary and devotional practice of flogging oneself with whips or other instruments that inflict pain. So yeah, it's like
punishing yourself?
Yeah, it's like punishing yourself. Like don't live like yes, live simply, but don't live in a way where you're punishing yourself. Like, don't live in a way where you can't spend money, like where you don't let yourself spend money or you don't let yourself have nice things. Don't live in a way where you're like punishing yourself.
Like, live simply. Maybe this is for like rich people or something, like people who have a lot of money and like they maybe like a lot of money saved and then they're just saving and saving and saving and they never spend it, so they live this kind of a simple life, but ultimately they're living simple life because they are afraid of spending that money, not because of some sort of a choice or something.
And maybe
like I don't know how that would apply to
maybe
me.
This doesn't have anything to do with money. So let's read what Ryan says, because I'm just kind of looking at it.
Yeah.
So he says Marcus's meditations are filled with self-criticism, and so are the writings of other Stoics. So he's saying they have self-criticism in how they talk. It's important to remember, however, that that's as far as it goes. There was no self-flagellation, no paying penance, no self-esteem issues from guilt or self-loathing. You never hear them call themselves worthless pieces of crap, nor do they ever starve or cut themselves as punishment. Their self-criticism is constructive. Laying into yourself, unduly depriving yourself, punishing yourself, that's self-flagellation, not self-improvement. No need to be too hard on yourself. Hold yourself to a higher standard, but not an impossible one. And forgive yourself if and when you slip up.
Yeah, that could be, yeah. I mean, I can see it. It doesn't speak to me, this one, for some reason. Like, I don't have...
What Ryan's saying? Or
all
what?
the entire thing. Like, I don't know what to relate it to in my life. Like,
I mean, this is
like
like
I don't
really
find
hitting...
myself to call myself names, or like, I don't know if I'm punishing myself. Maybe I'm punishing myself, but if I'm punishing myself, I don't know how. And therefore, like, I don't know that I'm punishing myself, right? So it's like, how like, in my mind, like, I'm not punishing myself. I'm trying to, like, yeah, if mistakes are made, I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, yeah, that happened. Oh, maybe I was involved. How could I be involved next time? Like, I'm not like hitting my over myself over head or something. I mean, I can maybe see that, like, I used to do that when I was a kid or something, or again, I have many of them and I'm just not aware of them. So then, that is.
Yeah, because it's not always like explicitly a thought of like I'm calling myself a name. It could be more subtle. It could be just the feeling of feeling like... It's sort of like when Brene Brown talks about the difference between guilt and shame. And she's like, guilt is I did something bad. But shame is I am bad. Because I did something bad, that makes me bad. And so he's saying like there's a difference there. Even like Marcus will give the self-criticism. He'll say like, this could have been done better.
Yeah, that's my experience. Like, I go to, like, how can I have done that better, right? Like, it's...
And you don't feel bad about yourself?
I feel bad about myself, but not for long. Just like during the time of like, I screwed this up. That sucks. Okay, how can, like, that feels bad, right? And then, like, how can I improve this next time? How can we fix this? Like, it goes really into the solution.
So maybe there's a little bit, but it like disappears fast.
Yeah, there's not like this, the day after day I'm calling myself and putting myself down for something that I've done wrong or something like that. Almost never happens. It's like, yeah, there's a reaction of, well, this didn't go well, like, that sucks, right? But that's not, I'm not punishing myself or something with that. I'm like recognizing that this didn't go well. Like, that's okay to recognize it, maybe, but yeah, it's yeah, I get it. Don't criticize yourself, yeah. Don't
somehow it's connecting with me also,
or
like not
criticize yourself, but don't punish yourself for it.
Sure.
That's what they're saying. So I get it, but yeah, it's hard.
I mean, it's connecting with me, like, not just to the past of like, I did, I messed that up, I'm so terrible, but even to like the future, because there's sometimes where I'll look to the future and there's like opportunities in front of me that I'm going to say yes to this and no to this. And there's some times where my decision of where to go into here and away from here that decision might be colored by sort of, it doesn't feel exactly like a punishment, like a self-punishment, but it maybe is like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can achieve that. I don't know if I can... like, I will count myself out of really good opportunities. I'll like self-select out of trying like to like really push the boundary on something because I doubt my capabilities in an area. And I'm just wondering if maybe how much that connects into what we're reading here. Because I connect with like what you're saying too, because like it's more of a growth mindset. And this book actually has been really helpful to like reposition my relationship with failure and look at failure as like, this is my responsibility here is to learn. There's going to be tons of failures over and over and over again. And like, I can make this a cool thing and I can make this cycle of failure work for me by learning from it. And so instead of me then like beating myself up about the thing that went wrong, I'm like, okay, well, what can I learn from this? So I feel like in that regard, it doesn't hold me back too much. but I know in the past I've sort of like kept my life very small because I was just in this pattern of not thinking very highly of myself. It's like, how highly do I think of myself? Do I think I'm like this amazing person who can like go out in the world and like make an impact and like be the person I want to be? Or do I say to myself like, nah, that's not me. I don't got that. Because like that second thing feels like shit to me personally. Like if I say that to myself. But it's a
punishment though?
For me it is, yeah. Because it keeps my life
I don't see
small.
that as punishment. I see that as like maybe a fear or like having it like the unknown, and I don't know which decision to make. Is it A or B? And if I make A, the B is not possible. If I make B, A is not possible. So now everything is on the. But that's not punishment.
I mean, maybe it's something different.
Right, punishing would be like I make the A, and now I'm hitting myself over the head for months, years, whatever, that I've made that decision, right? Like.
Sure, maybe I'm just connecting.
Like you might have a reaction. You make the choice A, and then the second you make it, maybe 3 days later after you make it, you say, "Oh my God, I should have made the other one." Well, that realization of I should have made the other one is not beating myself over my head. No, that's a realization that the choice should have been maybe different, and I need to learn from this for next time. And when I have these two choices again, I will absolutely go with the B, right? And so that's what it is. It's not like, oh, I make A and now, oh my God, this sucks. I hate myself. Why should I did it? Oh my God, I shouldn't have done it. Oh my God, And if you have this going on for, in my opinion, this is actually healthy for a short period of time, because it helps you to like, realize that, oh my God, I screwed it up. Oh my God, what was I thinking? Like you can say that. That's kind of a little bit of a punishment, I would say, right? But from that, you're instantly running into like, okay, well, how do I solve this? What can I do now with the cards? Not that the cards are, been dealt. So I got to play this hand now with this. Or can I still go to that B somehow? Even though I was saying that's not possible, can I still somehow make that possible? So there's like more of concentration on what to do now that this thing didn't work out so well.
Yeah, maybe what I was like trying to say is like when I don't think very highly of myself, I want less for myself in the future. And I start to make my life smaller and smaller.
Because I hear your point. Like you're saying like, yeah, I'm thinking about the future. I should make this. And I was like, well, I can't do it or something. And it's like, that's like an excuse or something. Right. But to me, excuse equals fear. Or like not wanting to if I do that, it's going to be
I just feel like where that comes from and where it starts in like this self-punishing, this like me feeling bad about myself, feeling ashamed of myself and my capabilities, and all of that then colors the things I set out to achieve and go do in my life. And so I'm just connecting it back in a roundabout way, it's not an exact way, but it's like I do feel it's connected for me.
Yeah. It's someone in the same or adjacent bucket of some sort,
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool beans.
Nicely done. Okay. If you stuck with us, thank you, because we had no idea what those words meant. Drop us a comment and let us know what's resonating for you today, and we'll see you tomorrow.